Social media has been in the news in recent times with NRL players having sex tapes released, conversations being leaked of NBA players, and accusations of sexual misconduct from UFC fighters, football players and NBA basketballers, and the ongoing battle between Rugby Australia and Israel Folau. Social media has been relevant to researchers due to the cultural significance it holds. Comparatively, sports hold a similar level of significance in culture, and the research conducted will be to find how the two coexist. The question that will be researched is, does social media have a positive or negative influence on athletes? This paper intends to identify the key characteristics of social media and its impact on professional and amateur athletes both negatively and positively. The research comes at a time where many are questioning the use of social media for professional athletes in light of many scandals regarding high-profile athletes. Examples of these would include the NRL sex tapes, Israel Folau and Rugby Australia, rape allegations and leaked conversations with high-profile NBA and football players and UFC fighters. This will be compared to things such as advertising opportunities, brand growth and fan interaction, and speaking out against social issues which seen in all types of sport in a variety of ways. Almost all high-level athletes use some form of social media, so the research will look to find out whether this is perceived as a positive or negative influence on the athletes' careers and personal life. Research in the past has looked into the influence social media has had on college athletes in America. Looking into the control teams and colleges should have on what the players can post, as well as using social media like most other people. Past research also shows a lot of the positive influence on athletes. This research states the positive impacts of social media through fan interaction, brand deals and cultivative relationships. This research also discovered that majority of users of social media is young people with a high number of males, which links with our example of NRL players, NBA players, rugby players, UFC fighters and footballers, which shows the research can be examined further but comes with a strong starting point. Traditionally, sports fans have had limited access to athletes, watching them from afar at sporting events or on television. In this digital age, fans have access to their favourite athletes at all times. Oftentimes, athletes come from a minority background and use their voice on sports to speak out on social issues. The past research looks at mainly the positives of social media, whereas our research intends to look at both sides, to see where the overall consensus is regarding the influence of social media on athletes. Survey with 25 participants answering questions anonymously. Focus group with 8 to 12 participants. In order to collect the results in the survey or focus group, a set of questions needs to be asked of the group in order to attempt to answer our question. Does social media influence athletes in a positive or negative way? Questions will be asked as a scale, 1 to 10, where we will use data collection to find the mean and answer our question. Ethically, in this research, it is important to be mindful of privacy. The data will be collected anonymously in order to protect the privacy of people involved. This will be done in order to get as accurate data as possible and allow people to mention any negative impacts that may potentially be embarrassing or sensitive to the individual. Prior to asking people to be a part of the data, it will be clear that they can choose to not be a part of the research at any time and also be fully informed of what is required of them prior to commencement.